This conference will now be recorded.
Right. So now let us see how to implement how to implement 1 second please. How to implement select options functionality. Okay. So if you observe the function model, what is the function model which is used for retrieving the list of product details? We have the function model BAPI underscore EPM underscore product underscore get list. Okay, so in this function model, we are not passing any parameters. It is going to return me what? The list of what? Products data. It is going to return me the list of what? Products data. So you can see as part of this function model only, we have an optional parameter. Okay, we have an optional parameter cell param product ID. Okay, cell param product ID, which is what? Accepting the range of what? Product IDs. Okay, what is the description here? BAPI range table for what? Product IDs. BAPI range table for product IDs. So my requirement is we have seen how to retrieve all the records, and we have seen how to retrieve a specific record, specific product. Now my requirement is I want to pass what? I want to consider this parameter. What is the parameter? It is actually optional. So you may or may not pass. Okay. So if I pass the range of product IDs, it has to return me the list of product details only for that particular range. Okay. So the main focus is how do we pass it in the URL here. Okay. So this is the parameter I need to consider. What is that parameter type? BAPI underscore EPM underscore product ID underscore range. So if I double click on this, yeah, you can see it. What is the structure of a select option? Sign option low and what? I. Sign option low and I. So I need to prepare an internal table of type so and so and pass that particular internal table as a value to this particular parameter. Okay. So let's open that project. What is the project name? ZEPM underscore project under what? Data model. And the data model, it's not data model, already we have created, right? So what is the stub I need to implement? Get entity set, because this get entity set is responsible for what? Returning what? More than one record. So requirement here is I'm going to pass a range of product IDs. I have to return the product details for that particular product ID range. So I need to implement which method? Get entity set. So I'll just go to runtime artifacts. I'll go to data provider extension class, right? So in this class, in the data provider extension class, let us navigate to the method what? Product set underscore get underscore entity set. I'll open it in change mode. Yeah, I'll double click on this method. Product set underscore get underscore entity. So yesterday or last 2 days what you have done, we are getting the list of what products. So this is the logic we wrote already. And I think in this only, we have written the logic for what? Order by also. We have written the logic for order by. So let us not disturb this one. I'll keep it as it is. So what I'll do now is, oh, okay. Hmm. So when I'm sending the request, I may either send the range of product IDs or I may not send the range. I repeat once again, when I'm trying to execute that query, I may either send the range or I may not send the range. If I don't send the range, I should return the list of what? All the products. If I send the range, I have to return the details of only that particular product ID ranges. So what I'll do is, let me not disturb this existing code. Here I'll write the logic. So first what I'll do is, so assume that we are going to pass the range. So I need to prepare an internal table. I need to prepare internal table of what type? This one in a, what is that? PAPI underscore EPM underscore product underscore ID underscore range. Okay, done. Okay, let us not get into this one at this stage. What I'll do is, yesterday we have seen that if you are passing the order by what query option, what is the parameter which is going to carry that IT underscore what order? Similarly, if I pass the range as input, we should know what is the parameter which is going to what read that particular information. So you can see there is a parameter here, IT underscore filter underscore select underscore options. It is of type internal table. If you have T in between here, you have to understand that is what internal table. So this is a parameter which will carry the select option information. When I double click on this, it is the table type associated with the structure. Associate with the structure what s underscore ngw underscore select underscore option. When I double click on this, again this has got some two fields, property and select options. Okay, we'll come back to this. So I understand that this is the parameter which is going to carry that particular information. So when I double click, what is the structure of this one, you know? So let me make a copy of this. Control C. See the approach I'll follow. Just try to understand here. I'll write a comment here. Read the select option property. Read the select option property. So I'll say data or W underscore, what is the name of the internal table? IT underscore filter underscore select option. So I'll say W underscore filter underscore select underscore options. Sorry, select underscore options. Type what? So and so. Right, so type so and so, done. Now let me read it. I'll say read table. What is the parameter which is going to carry the select option information? IT underscore filter underscore select underscore what option. So I'll say IT underscore filter underscore select underscore options into what is the work area declared? W underscore filter underscore what? Select underscore what? Options. Select underscore options. Okay, into so and so. Okay, done. With the key, what are the fields in this? Let me again double click on this. Yeah, there are two fields here. There are two fields. One is property, another field is what? Select underscore options. Again, this field is again what? Internal table. This field is again internal table. Property and what? Select underscore options. Okay. So keeping that structure in mind, I'll say here, I'll say with the key property is equal to, with the key property equal to, what is the product ID range entity property product ID. I am not interested in tackles and so transporting. What is the other field you have identified there? Select underscore options. Select underscore options. Done. Then if size bars is equal to 0, if size bar is equal to 0 means, in case if you are passing the select option information, I need to write some logic. Okay, I need to write some logic. Done. Okay. Okay. If size bar is equal to do so and so, else here I'll give the message, get the list of what? All products. Done. Then it's parts. Done. I'll say end if let me just comment this rest of the code. I'll comment printing the rest of the code. Okay, let me save it. I'll explain, it will be easy. Activate it. You just observe here. I'll put the breakpoint here. I'm putting the breakpoint. Right, breakpoint has been set. Let me go back. Activate this. Done, done, done. Yeah. What I'll do is, okay, after activating, let me regenerate the runtime artifacts and open it in editable mode. I'll regenerate the runtime artifacts. Yeah, they're successfully regenerated. Let me maintain the service. Yeah. Okay, so just try to understand. I'll pass the URL like this. What is the URL I'm giving? Just I'm giving the entity set. I'm not passing any range. Remember that. So when I execute, it will execute that stop get entity set. Is it stopping there? Yes, it is stopping in that method. Now observe here, since I'm not passing any select options, if you see this internal table, it has got zero entries. It has got zero entries. So read will fail. Control goes to what is the value of SAP 4. So read is failed. Control goes to what? Else part. In the else part, what you are doing, we are getting all the product details. We are getting all the product details. So when I say F6, I got some 116 entries. Then I'm looping and returning the data. So when I execute, done. I got what? All the products. I got all the products. Okay, done. Now what I'll do is, I got all the products. Now here I'll try to pass the select option range. So how to pass here? See, as part of my URL, I'll say this question mark dollar filter, dollar filter. Try to understand. How do you pass the select option? Is by using a query option called as dollar filter equal to, on which column you want to pass product ID na. So product ID, okay, dollar filter is equal to product ID. Product ID, I'll say greater than or equal to, what is that? I know the product ID is HT-1000 and what else? Product ID is less than or equal to, okay, less than or equal to what? HT-1030. Okay, so let me cross check here. Product set question mark dollar filter is equal to product ID greater than so and so, less than so and so, done. Okay, so let me check whether my request is valid or not. I'll click on execute. Done. So there is no problem in the request URL. Right. So I'm passing that select option based on the product ID. Na? So if you see the internal level, good. Now it has got one entry. Okay. So this is the parameter which is going to carry that particular select option information. So when I double click on this, yeah, you can see what is the property product ID, and I passed a range, so it is showing it as an internal table. When I double click on this, good. Acha. Okay, good, good. Okay, so if you see this once again, okay, done. Done, done. Okay, right. So again, what is the range here? HT-1000 and HT- what 1030. Done. Right. So I have not written any data, any logic for that. I have not written logic for that. Just I wrote the statement. That's why I'm not getting any data. So what you have to understand is how to use a select option. So what is the query option we use? Dollar filter. Dollar filter. This is a way you have to pass the range. Okay, now we understood that if you are using this query option, it is received in that internal table. What is that internal table? IT underscore filter underscore what? Select underscore what? Options. IT underscore filter underscore select underscore options. Okay, so let me remove the breakpoint for the time being. If size of bar is equal to 0 means what? If you are passing the range, if you are passing the range, done. Hmm. If size of bar is equal to 0, what is the next step I'll do? Here I'll say read the select option values. Read the select option values. Okay, so what I'll do now is just observe this once again. What is the parameter which is carrying that information? IT underscore filter underscore select underscore options. It is of type so and so now. If you double click on this, what is the structure of that? This structure has got two fields. What are the two fields here? It has got property. It has got property and what? Select options. Okay. This select option, select underscore options field itself is a what? Internal table. Itself is an internal table. So when I double click on this, again this internal table, what is the structure of that? Yes underscore code underscore select underscore option. So let me just copy this. What is the structure of this? Sign option low I. Good. Sign option low and what? I. So what I'll do now is, since I have to read the values, see the technique here. Data, I'll say something W underscore what? Select underscore option. Type what? So and so. Done. Read table. What is the work area I got in the previous step? W underscore filter underscore select underscore options. W underscore filter underscore what? Select underscore options. Hyphen. What is the second field we observed in that? Select underscore options. Select underscore options. Done. Into what? W underscore select underscore option. Index what? 1. Index 1. Done. Okay. If size of bar is equal to 0, if size of bar is equal to 0, I'll say what? End if. Let me debug this once again. I'll put the breakpoint. So just try to focus. Let me maintain now. Right. What is my entity set? Product set is my entity set. I'll try to pass the select options. How do you pass here? You have to say dollar filter equal to what is that? Product ID. I'll say greater than or equal to HT hyphen what? 1000 and HT hyphen 1000 and what else? Product ID less than or equal to what? HT hyphen 1020, something like this. Okay, so this is the select option range I am giving based on the product ID. Let me execute this. That whatever the range I pass will come and sit in this one. IT underscore filter underscore select underscore what? Options. Done. If I double click on this, it has got two fields. Property is what? Product ID. And there is another field which itself is an internal table. Okay, so this is the field which will actually hold the values. This is the field which will actually hold the values. What is the field name? Select underscore option. And this is the actual range. HTF in 1000 and what? HTF in 1020. So what I am doing now, if size of bar is equal to 0, yes, size of bar is equal to 0. Now I am actually interested in what reading the content. So if you see W underscore select underscore option, right? If you see W underscore select, I'm reading the actual data now. When I say F5, yeah, read is successful. See this work area now. What is the work area? Sign is inclusive, option is between, and what is the low value? HTF in 1000 and HTF in what? 1020. So this is the field. This is the field. What is that field? Select underscore options. Okay, this is the field which will actually hold the range we are passing. So the second read is also successful. I have not written any further logic, so I'll get the blank data, I believe. Yeah, I got the blank data. Okay, done. Now let us proceed further. So what you're trying to understand is what is the field? What is the field which is actually going to hold the values? So what is that field there? Select underscore option. So let us go further and implement the logic. Yeah, see the further logic here. Yeah, if size of bar is equal to 0, if size of bar is equal to 0, what I have to do now? I have to call the function model to read the data. Na? So just now we observed what is the parameter I have to consider this one. So I need to prepare an internal table. Why I am calling it an internal table? Because it is under table section. Any parameter which is under tables is not internal table. So I need to prepare an internal table of this type and then pass the value. So let me prepare this product ID range. Okay, so done. So here I'll say what prepare select option parameter for product IDs. Done. So also data of t underscore product ID type what so and so type table of sorry type because I have to prepare internal table type table of so and so. Then I require a work area, so I'll set data w underscore product. I'll do one thing, I'll give meaningful name product ID underscore range. I'll say here also I'll say underscore range type what so and so. Then so I declare an internal table and what work area. So if you want to declare work area, I can also say like line of t underscore product underscore id underscore what range. Done. Now let me prepare this data. So before I start using that work area, let me clear data w underscore product id underscore range. This is underscore here. Done. Now what are the fields in this? Let me double click on this. What are the fields in this? Sign option low and what? I. Sign option low and I. So what I'll do now is sign option low and I. No? Yeah, here I'll say W underscore product ID, the W underscore product ID underscore range hyphen sign is equal to. Okay, already in this work area I got the data now. What is that? W underscore select underscore what? Option hyphen. Here also we have the same structure now. Sign option low and I. Also what? Sign. Done. Sorry. It's a sign. Done. Done. Okay. Let me copy all those things. Sign what else option is equal to done. Then your low and what I field low and this is I field done. Then I'll say append w underscore product underscore id underscore range to underscore range. So what is the internal table I declared? T underscore what? T underscore product id underscore range. T underscore product id underscore range. That's it. Okay, so up to this is fine. Yeah, up to this is fine. If size of r is equal to 0, do so and so. Here only I'll say get the list of products. Get the list of products based on what? Product ID range. Based on product ID range. I need to call that particular function model. Okay, I need to call that function model, but I require this one. Now. One second. Remove this from here. I'll keep it somewhere at the top. I'll call that function model now, BAPI underscore EPM underscore product underscore what? Get list. Product underscore get underscore what? List. Okay. Tables. It returns the product details. I'll receive that in my what is the internal table? T underscore product underscore what? Header. What are the product details it returns? I'll receive in my internal table T underscore product underscore what? Header. T underscore product underscore header. And this parameter range is what? Product ID. What is that I prepared in the earlier step here? T underscore what? Product ID underscore what? Range. T underscore product ID underscore range. Other parameters are optional. Done. Done. Once again, and if else get the list of all the products. Okay. And if I'll explain, so don't worry about this. If this and if is over, okay. This else is for what? Okay, this one, and then I'm returning what? All the details done. This remains same. I don't require this end if I think here. Done. Because already I closed it here. Done. Done. Okay. Let me save it. Check for the syntax and activate. First, let me test it from my end. Then I'll explain this. Let's say maintain. Okay, done. Choose product set. Okay, done. Not passing any field select option. Let me execute this. I'm trying to execute, so let me debug directly. So I'm not passing any select of. Oh, it's not stopping. Once again, let me give a breakpoint at the proper place. I'm giving the breakpoints. Activate everything. Better we regenerate the runtime artifacts. It's not compulsory to regenerate every time, but better we regenerate so that everything will be adjusted. And let me try to execute this. Yeah, product set done. I'm not passing any range here. Let me execute. Yeah, it is stopping here. So this internal table doesn't have any entries. Okay, so read will fail. When the read is failed, control comes to the else part. Yeah. Okay, size of bars is for control coming to else part. What you are doing here, we are getting the list of what? All the products. We are getting a list of all the products. So let's say F6. How many entries I got? 116 entries. So I am looping it and I am mapping. This logic is common. I am looping the internal table we are mapping it to the final written internal table. Done. So I would get what all the records. I will get all the 116 records. Okay, I will get all the 116 records. Done. Now what I'll do is here I'll say product set. I'll say dollar filter equal to what product ID. Maintain means testing. Maintaining the service means testing. Okay, testing whether the crude operations are working or not. After developing the report, we have to maintain the report now. Before we transport, we need to check whether the report is working fine or not. So I need to test it. Maintaining nothing but testing. Dollar filter is equal to product ID greater than. Is it clear, Venkat? Venkat, is it clear? Maintaining nothing but we have implemented the logic, all those things. How can you check whether it is working fine or not? Okay, we have to test it. How I am testing it? I right clicked on that what server name and I clicked on the maintain button. You'll get this particular thing. Okay, here I'm trying to retrieve what all the records. I'm trying to retrieve a specific record. I'm trying to retrieve what range of records. So this is the thing called as maintenance. Okay, just like if you take our custom tables, we'll generate what table maintenance. Where do we maintain the table? SM30. What you will do in SM30? We'll try to create the record, we'll try to delete the record, we'll try to modify the record, we'll try to view the records. There is nothing called as table maintenance. Here also I'm trying to maintain my service. I'm trying to check whether all the operations are working fine or not. Operation means sense, in this case, I'm able to read single record, I'm able to read all the records, I'm able to read what range of records. That is nothing but called as maintenance. Is it clear, Venkat? Why so long time to reply? Hello. When you ask the question, when I answer, you let me know whether you understood or not so that I can proceed further. If you keep calm, I don't understand whether you understood it or not. Okay, so please be interactive. Right. So here, product ID is what? Greater than or equal to what? HT hyphen, sorry. Here I'll say product ID greater than or equal to HT hyphen what? 1000 and what? Actually, I'll do one thing. I'll try to give directly like this and less than or equal to ht hyphen what 1020. Okay, so what is the URL I'm giving? Dollar filter is equal to product ID greater than or equal to ht hyphen 1000 and less than or equal to ht hyphen 1020. So I don't know whether this is a valid request or not. Okay, let me try to execute. I know, I know, good. I got an error. What is the error? I got 400. What is the status? This is a bad request. Property LE not found in the means what I'm trying to show is I cannot give the request in whatever way I want. I cannot give the request in whatever way I want. Okay, we must follow that particular proper syntax. So what is that? Here also we have to give what product ID, and here also have to give what product ID. That's it. So then only to understand. Okay, so and what? And product ID less than or equal to what? HTF in what? 1020. And product ID greater than or equal to HTF in 1000. and product ID less or equal to SJF in 1020. Yeah? Done. Done, done, done. Okay, I'll click on execute button. So I gave the range now. Yeah, it is the request is what valid now. It is going to that. So what are the select option range I'm passing? That is received through which internal table? IT underscore filter underscore select underscore option. It has got what one entry. So my read will be successful now. Okay, my read will be successful. I got that information. I got that information inside this particular work area. This work area itself contains what two fields. What are they? Property and what? Select option. Property will hold what? The name of the property, and select option will have the actual. This field itself is again what? Internal table. This field itself is again what? Internal table. So what I am doing now, I am interested to read the actual data now. What is the range I passed? I want to read it now. So where I am reading it, see, into what? W underscore select underscore option. When I say F5, done. I may got the data. What is the value of sys hours is 0. Done. Yeah, you can see I got the lower limit as 1000, upper limit as what 1020. Done. Now, if the read is successful, what I have to do now, I have to call the function model. But here, I have to get the list of product IDs based on the given range. I have to get the list of product IDs based on the given range. So that's the reason I'm preparing that internal table. So if you see this T underscore product range, as of now it is empty. I'm preparing that internal table. Yes, I got the data. I got one entry. So what is the product ID range now? HTF in 1000 and HTF in 1020. Okay, done. Now I'm trying to call the function model. I'm trying to call the function model now. Earlier, when I'm getting all the products, I got 116 entries. Now, while calling this function model, what I'm doing here, I'm passing the internal table, which is carrying what? Product ID range. So based on this range only, what is the range? Between 1000 to 1020, I don't know how many products are there. So I'm trying to get only those products. So when I say F6, done. How many entries I got? Only 8 entries I got. Earlier I got 116 entries. Now I got only 8 entries. Between 1000 to 1020, I'm having only these entries, 8 entries. And the rest of the part is simple. When I say F8, oh, again I got error. Huh? No, I don't have any error. I got 200 in green color. So I got the data only between that particular range. So if you see here, this is 1000, then 1001, then we have 1003, and then 1007, 1010, 1011, 1020. That's all. Okay, so I got the data only between this particular range. Okay, can I get the count of that? I don't want the data, I want the count. I want the count. So what I'll do here, product set slash okay, dollar count slash so and so. Okay, so I don't know how many products are there between this. Try to understand. I don't know how many products are there between this. So let me check. I'm using two query options now. Dollar count and what? Dollar filter. Execute this. Yeah. Again, I'll say F8. Hello. What is the count value I got here? Good. What is the count value? I got only what? 8. I got only what? 8. Now the requirement sometimes would be what? I want the count as well as the data. So here actually I have not written any logic for this. For dollar count, I told 3 days back, for some of the query options, you need not implement any logic. It is inbuilt. The functionality will be what? Inbuilt. So what is happening here? When I use this dollar count and so, it is only returning me the count of between this range. Sometimes the requirement would be I want the count as well as the data. So for that again I need to go for going forward. We have some query options like dollar top and what dollar skip. So by using that combination, I can get the count value as well as the corresponding data. Okay, so that will come in the coming sessions. So the main thing here is I'm using what dollar filter. Now the exercise you try to do is the assignment you try to do is I am giving only one range now. So you do R&D, and how to pass multiple ranges. This is one range. Okay. So I want to pass another range. Okay, I'm just giving a clue, but please try from your end and let me know. I'll say what and here. I want to give one more range. Okay, so 1040 to 1050. So check how to give that range. Suppose here I'll try to say what and here. I'll directly try to say and I'll try to give this again. 1 second. Okay, so again I said what dollar filter is equal to product ID, let me give it as 1030 or 1030 to 1040. Okay, so I'm trying to give the request like this. Let me check and identify this syntax or not. I'm just trying to do some R&D kind of thing. I'm trying to give multiple ranges. So when I execute, yeah, good. Good. What I got here? I got what? Error. Bad request. Invalid token detected at position what? 54. So it is not recognizing this. So the R&D try to do this assignment. Okay. Let me know the answer in the coming sessions. Okay. Anyhow, we'll see this going forward, but I don't want to tell it now. So I don't want if I give the logical after and it is giving saying that invalid token detected position 54. So what is my requirement? I should be able to pass what? Multiple ranges. So check how to do it. Okay, so if I say like this, it's not working. Again, let me say I'm trying to do all the combination. I'll say question mark dollar filter. Again, I don't know whether it's valid or not. Let me try to execute this. Hello. Again, it is saying what bad request. So it is not allowing. So do another combination. Okay. Suppose here I'll try to give what? This parenthesis. Okay, I'm trying to give this parenthesis. Okay, product ID greater than or equal to so and so and what? So and so. Okay, I'll use the logical operator and. Okay, and and what? Again, I'll say what? Product ID. Yeah, understood. I'm trying to show you different combination. So you check how to do it. Okay, so I'm directly giving like this. Dollar filter is equal to product ID. This why I'm giving this parenthesis. Just my understanding is this should be considered as one range, and this should be considered another range. In between, I'm using one logical operator. What and again, I don't know whether this is valid or not. So I'll try to execute now again. Uh, what happened here? What happened? It has gone to that particular method means it is able to recognize that syntax. Okay, let me check whether I'll get the data or not. Okay, let me see this internal table. Okay, I'm trying to read it. Oh, but the problem is it is not holding that range. So size of ours is again what failed. I'll get all the records. I'll get all the records. I got all the records. How much I got? 116 I got. I got 116 because I'm using count here. Na? So what? Okay, I'll do one thing like this. 1 second. I'll remove the count here. Okay, done. Dollar filter. I'm trying to give like this. Let me try to execute now. Okay, it is going there. But if you see this internal table, earlier it is showing zero entries. Now also it is showing what? Zero entries. Okay, so this internal table is not carrying the data. So again, I'll get what? All the records I'll get. I'll get all the 116 records. I'll get all the 116 records. So if I give like this, it will not give me any error, but it is not considering this as a range. It is not considering this as a range. So again, do other combinations. Okay, what you do? and here again I'll say what dollar filter. Okay, dollar filter equal to so and so. This is one combination. And before this dollar filter, you say what question mark if it is not working. Okay, if that is also not working, remove this parenthesis here, remove this parenthesis here, give the parenthesis only at the beginning and at the end. So like this, you try all the combinations and let me know what is the valid URL. Try practically, not theoretically. So try to what do it. I'll definitely share the recordings and material today. Yesterday there was a network issue, so I was unable to prepare that particular what program and the recording. I'm unable to convert. So today by afternoon I'll share everything. Is it clear? So let me know the answer in 1 or 2 days. Okay?
Hello, sir.
Yeah, Devashish, tell me.
Sir, can I write the sort statement explicitly?
Can I?
Can I write sort statement the ascending and descending point of view in the
Uh,
general above? I'm using the sort statement.
okay. Hmm.
Can I the sort statement here?
Yeah, already I used it yesterday.
Can I put the that is that is one parameter is there. I'm telling explicitly. Can I write the can I use the sort statement?
Where inside the method you are saying?
Yes, yes.
Yeah, yesterday I used it, na, Devashish. Yeah, yesterday I used
But
sort only. Na? Hmm.
okay. So yes, yes.
I
Because
think
actually I have
all,
not received any material, so that's why I
mm,
forgotten.
but all ABAP statements are supported. This is the general ABAP code only. Whatever you are able to do it in procedural ABAP, everything I can do it. I can use sort, I can use whatever logic I want, I can do it.
Okay, okay. Thank you, sir.
Yeah. Yeah, others, any questions? So, what is the assignment for today? Try to, I want to pass multiple ranges, just like if you take our normal ABAP, say, I want the functionality like this. See, my functionality is something like this. I'm just using what select options. Okay, save it, check it, activate it. So when I execute, right? So here I will enter one range, 100 towards something 200. If you want multiple ranges, what you'll do here, you'll click on this button, and here you'll enter what other range. So I want this kind of functionality. I should be able to enter what multiple ranges through my URL. So check whether it is possible. If it is possible, what is the syntax for that? Yeah, Abhishek, what is the doubt? Can we call small? Yes, yes. Not using gateway from the front end application. From the front end application, from the front end application, we can call that smart forms or Adobe forms. Yes, possible from front end application. Front end UI for application, not from this SCGW. SCGW is only for CRUD operations. Huh? Okay, from the front end application, because smart form or Adobe form will show me some output, some preview in the document format. So that can be consumed from what? UIF application. Devashish, vendor details. Yeah. I'll drop a mail today which will contain the vendor details for this OData server. Okay. So those who want to take in on a rental basis, you can contact them directly. You can drop a mail to them. They'll be the credentials. Okay. You can check those credentials for 1 or 2 days. If you feel that that service is working fine, you can make the payment to them. They'll charge some 1,000 to 1,200 per month. 1,000 to 1,200 per month. can refer to that. I'll send those details to everyone today, vendor details for the OData practice. Yeah, Rajendra, you have any questions?
So regarding that URI request, it is to display only for particular records only, no? We are giving, providing, mentioning conditions over there,
Correct,
sorting. Okay,
correct.
okay, sure. That
Yeah,
is my
it's obviously select option is you will give the lower limit and not upper limit.
upper limit. Yes,
Okay.
sure.
So we are
Thank you.
giving that particular range. Based on that range, we are preparing the corresponding internal table and we are passing that internal table to that function model so that
Yes.
it will pick the data of only those range.
Okay. And this message number 400 and is for
Hmm.
error, 200 for success.
Hmm.
Is there any further messages? So
Yes,
what are the
yes, yes.
numbers? Can we
Okay.
get the details about it?
Yes, yes.
That
In the coming sessions, we'll be discussing about exception handling. As I told you 2 3 days back,
yes,
I
yes.
don't want that. I don't want that standard exception message. I want to give
Okay.
my own user-defined exception message. So, in the exception handling concept, I'll cover that part right there.
Sure, sure, sure.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Any other questions? So try to do this assignment. I'll definitely share the material and recordings by afternoon today. Okay, practice it and try to do this. Okay, how to pass multiple ranges through the URL. Through the URL. Okay, first practice this part, then do R&D on that. So I'll wind off. We'll continue tomorrow. We'll try to start the class by 7:40, 7:45. Today I got delayed with some network issue. So my previous batch got extended. Okay, so tomorrow we'll try to start with 7:40, 7:45. Okay, so I'm winding off. We'll continue tomorrow.